The HDR must be on again. God damn it. Hello, everyone. This is King Mob again, and we're playing Disco Elysium. Almost didn't make it because I fell asleep putting down one of the kids. Why can't I hear anything? There we go. Huh. A quick message to my boards. All right. No, it looks like the color's correct. Guess. HDR off? Yes. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Okay. It's almost 3 o'clock. Let's see what we're dealing with. I'll ask you to open the basement door behind the greenhouse. Intimidate the occupant. Okay. Investigate the vigilantes. Hey, there's a map. What? Okay. Endurance. We inquire. Gotcha. Got these legendary checks. Formidable, legendary. Impossible. Okay. Let's go get those sunglasses.
You keep coming back. That's good, officer. Keep browsing those clothes. Keep saving that economy.
Ah, browse through the box.
Find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from
Hey,
raw
cat.
polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat in all the wrong places. The box smells like cat piss or like an old person with no money.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first-hand. Buy second-hand. Keep the economy moving.
You find your hands.
Oh,
the
same
box
thing.
smells
Economical, but also trendy.
Okay, there's a sunglass.
The
Hey,
shine of
Huntress.
sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100% guaranteed.
Give me those shades you recommend. Try them
abort.
on.
These are hideous. What's more, they don't even fit your face. You can feel them pinching your nose and chafing against your brow.
Damn, officer. You look like a mega secret spy. Very secret.
It's going to be very difficult for anyone to take you seriously with these things on your face.
No, you are definitely not buying those.
You're right. I'm too
Are
sensitive.
you sure? But they look so good on you. You should think this through, officer.
Very strange. Okay. I need to go trade in some bottles. Okay, already dealt with you. Let's get out of here. Let's go sprint back here. Yes, I'm not going to buy the itchy pants. That just... This feels really wrong. Hey, who are you? Are you just a drunk? Yeah, you're just a drunk. Whirling in rags. Frit. 3 T's.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a satisfying jingle. You're a richer man now.
Heck yeah.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the big Fritta slogan on the back.
Okay, +1 endurance. Okay.
A colorful display of cigarettes and alcohol bottles.
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health.
You sell any under the counter price?
No, Frit only sells legal drugs, like the law says.
Legal drugs. Okay.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs.
Yeah, there's like an ampule somewhere.
Okay. Do you have any ammonia? Okay. Alright. Already checked those 2. Let's see if I can. Just trying to make everything glow so I can get a better look, but. Okay. Hey, at least I'm a little richer now. Like it says. This weirdo's gonna say anything to me.
Work! Right to work! Shame on you!
Hey there, Mr. Equus. Very nice artwork you've done. Right to work. There we go. Wild Pines. Okay, what am I doing now? I was going to... It's always a question. What was I doing? Okay. Check the victim's body. Track down your badge. Why the clothes are in the thing? Joyce's info. Oh, yes. Let's go off to the northwest. Oh, you said you got to do another one, so that means that you have yet another. Ooh, hang on. What does that circle mean? That means you got another contract?
Yes?
Oh, same contract. Okay, good. One more crust. Excellent. Every day you're hustling.
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned green from sea air, and there's a knocker shaped like a lion's head.
Fourth wall breaking super spy.
The leather upholstery is worn and rough against your jaw. You don't hear any move. In fact, it's It's oddly silent in the yard around you. No.
Yeah, someone's listening. I don't want to deal with it. Oh, but I do want to deal with, though. I do want to deal with.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers. Arson,
Okay.
petty theft, spousal abuse. Handwritten logs on dozens of investigations date back to January 51. Stamped case files. Commit to paper. These are your last couple of months in Revachol. Precinct 41. Jamrock. You don't
Expecting
exactly
these.
close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Read case file.
It takes about half an hour to piece one together.
Let's
using
go.
the system you've devised. Which one?
Square bullet holes.
It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square-shaped entry wound in the victim's forehead. She's been sitting there for weeks, on her rocking chair, with a square hole in her skull, staring at the wall, her mouth agape.
But
That's all you got. From the half hour you spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound was square-shaped. You never found the bullet. And then another body showed up, also with a square hole in his forehead. Who knows? Those pages are missing. What next? One day you may still catch the man with the square gun.
Interesting. Next world mural.
This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a failed real estate development called Grand Couronne. Cause of failure, rent too high. The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form reads, "True love is possible, only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class." People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case.
The bummer.
The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the bell lectures have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the next world mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown.
Wait, do I ever find out who came up with it?
The case files do not show you finding the author of the design.
Read on.
The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. Your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you and the rest of Row 3. The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villalobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between 2 options.
Keep the mural. It is right.
A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority. And that love truly is possible in the next world for new people. And it is too late for us.
I must have voted to remove the thing because I don't believe in that rubbish one bit. All it remains is to wreak havoc on the middle class.
In any case, it appears to have been a rare case of civil activity in the quarter. And agreement as well. What do you want to tackle next?
It's an unsolvable case.
AKA Leslie and Burke, AKA the public indecency drunk and the property damage drunk, is a cursed case. It has been passed from unsuspecting officer to unsuspecting officer for 10 years. On January 29, the unsolvable case made its way to you. Why you accepted it, it is unclear. Every officer, and indeed most civilians in Jamrock, know it's unsolvable.
There's a case file where what was cut, detectives shown and have knowledge of architecture. Oh, I see. Yeah, we have to go back to the system, don't we? Because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when people are going to die.
Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will always trash everything. It's just what they do. It is their nature. You cannot change the nature of a man, and you can't lock them away because public indecency and small-scale property damage are not punishable by incarceration. The only way for Leslie to stop flashing his genitals to bypassers and for Burke to stop dismantling signage and rear-view mirrors would be for them to stop drinking alcohol, which, in their 40s or 50s, it's hard to tell because of their distorted features, is a medical improbability on par with you ceasing to produce the expression.
Proceed.
Threatening fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in, locking them up in the station, hypnotherapy, even trying to get the local gang of Zemyaki to take them out. The Zemyaki gave them ethanol, so Burke and Leslie would expose and rampage even harder. You tried it all, and still the complaints wouldn't stop, as they hadn't stopped for 10 years. It's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference to several ongoing investigations, each brought to a standstill every time you drive down Main Street. Because there they are, on the corner of Perdition. And what is Leslie doing?
Public indecency.
You're learning. If the files are to be trusted, that's all there is to it. That and Burke breaking things, and the fact that they're both drunk. But then again, so are you. The case becomes considerably less comic one day when Burke takes a swing at your ledger. He must have it confused with the property he likes to damage. But the joke's on him. The officer is also drunk. Way more drunk than Burke there.
Check.
Let's be fair. You also have
We good?
empty eyes. You slam the hardened plastic board in his face, then proceed to beat him unconscious with it.
Party eyes. Cocaine. Can you guys hear me on the mic? Everything okay? Okay. Odd.
In the process, the ledger sustains damage. The compartment within, reserved for permeable documents, is jammed shut. You stop your assault on the now unconscious Burke to open it, but are unable to do so. The officer began to cry, reports Leslie, who, at this point, is tending to Burke. He came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill Burko, you slowly come around. The permeables compartment is open. You've smashed it open on poor Burko's kneecaps. The good news is, Burke can't walk anymore. Can't get out of his apartment, an invalid. With Burke to tend to, Leslie cuts back on the indecent exposure. Maybe he flashes his genitals to Burke. Who knows? But both drunks are off the street. The complaints stop. The unsolvable case is solved. Which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a disciplinary hearing. The end. Do you want to read another one?
The end. Wow, okay. Thanks, Kat.
Some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it. In the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, at an unexpected location. They were young, and they thought they looked cool on it.
I don't like models. I don't like rock bands. They look like assholes.
Insufferable dicks. Young people are the worst. So anyway, you got a complaint about the damn sofa, or couch, or whatever it is.
Whatever it was.
They were leaving it out in all these unexpected and whimsical locations. They took it to where they also took photos of themselves on it. and smoked cigarettes and drank coffee because they felt it's intellectual. Cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. You had to clean it all up, and you did. So congratulations to you. Case solved.
Ever catch those guys?
No, you didn't have time for that. These notes show that you have what is called a real goddamn job. You don't have time to be chasing down the couch assholes. You have a real job to do. What next?
I'm not sure what's going on, Kat. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Okay.
Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still.
Okay. I'm doing good here. Let's keep going. Somebody unfortunately drew a dong in that door. Play with my friends. There's the person I wanted to talk to. Absolutely.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
I have more questions about reality.
More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
Not quite there. What times are these?
These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late.
Too late for what?
For the big time.
Her eyes light up. There's a flash of teeth. What's the big time?
The revolution.
Ha! And what is this revolution I keep hearing about?
It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle.
What did you say with a bunch of apes duking it out?
Why, of course. We're talking Duke Out Central. Full swing intraspecies warfare.
And the apes, were they evil?
No. I would say the apes were neutral.
She looks at you, her gaze sharp. Okay, neutral.
On the other hand,
Turns north. The bombed out buildings lining the waterfront shivers slightly. She says a bunch of apes duking
why,
it out.
of course. We're
Were they
talking. No.
evil?
I would say the apes were neutral.
Sounds like evil to me.
On the other hand, maybe
Okay.
you're right.
Who got shot in the head?
Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution. But the communists, they all got shot in the head.
They all got shot.
Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. So well, one forgets they even existed.
The communists and anarchists shoot back?
Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people.
They should have shot people in the head then.
This does not represent the official RCM opinion.
The lieutenant says behind his
Don't
notes.
worry. Klas Mazov shot 15 million people in the head. But that was all the way over in Grad.
Anyone get shot in the head on the opposing side?
Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse, or drowned. Accounts differ. It was unceremonious. Just as well, he wasn't actually the king. Just the king's nephew. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad.
Cowardly king.
I prefer the term risk-averse. King Guillaume was nobody's fool. He could smell a PR disaster brewing, so he got out alive, and his nephew Fricelle got shot in his place. Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. It was a wild time.
Who got the mineral
The
rights?
liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything.
Okay, and by liberals you mean?
Liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective. or the remaining gentry, the beneficiaries of the pre-revolutionary arrangement.
Arrangement.
Some were rich enough to stay with the constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on the revolution. They were called the ultras or ultra-liberals. They fared well.
How the liberals win it all.
They didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended. Everyone else got shot in the head, remember?
We. She's one of them. Of course.
If everyone got shot, who was there to surrender to?
To foreign intervention. The coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights.
Wait, you said the liberals already took everything.
The liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The coalition took the ground. The ocean, the laws, and the people.
She stomps her rubber-booted foot.
The coalition of nations. Grad, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Oranje, and Sur-le-Clay. The armed center of the world. They landed here and ended the revolution. It was the moralist thing to do.
Moralist?
The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They believe in mineral rights and not shooting people in the head. At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now, the coalition government.
Is the volume of the game good enough?
This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist.
The color of moralism is blue. The official motto of Moral Intern, or Moralist International, is a blue forget-me-not, a piece of grey sky. Unofficial. For a moment, there was hope.
Okay, I'll get the game up louder then. Give me a moment. Why is my threshold? Why is my threshold so bad? Let's try to get this louder. There we go. Okay, let's see if that's any better. Not really. Anyways. For a moment, there was hope. I don't think I'm a moralist, ma'am.
Of course. Not easy to be moderate about head shooting in your line of work.
Rooty tooty, pointy shooty.
Cocker finger pistols. Rudy tooty. Pointy shooty.
That's the way of history.
He nods. And when was this kerfuffle?
The turn of the century revolution? Don't answer it. It's a trick question. The revolution began in '02 on the Isla of Grad, though by the end, nearly the whole world had gotten involved.
Yeah, much better.
It wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of Zarat, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Grad proved unable to contain. Then Mazov came along and overthrew the government.
What did this Sarath do?
It made people overthrow their governments.
No way.
Indeed. Zarat is a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue. The actual causes of the revolution were material. The pandemic only provided the spark.
Materialism, good.
It was a funny time in history. They discovered transistors and rock music, but they didn't know anything about prions. Nobody did.
Where did they spread from there?
From Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself. Mazov's government was overthrown in '08, and the coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was the end.
What came next?
Why? You and I, officer. Our lives in the zone of control.
What is the zone of control?
A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum of the Coalition of Nations. And you, of course, the Citizens' Militia. The zone of control is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the Suzerain and the Commune. Modernity. They developed the marvels of the inter-eastlery communication. Telematic milieus, radiation, colored plastics. Meanwhile, in Revachol West, the aftermath continues for the 5th decade.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
This thing has been like this for 43 years.
Time flies.
What have we been doing all that time?
The 20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river leveled, offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came before. 08 to 19 was simply hell.
After that,
The 30s? Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven, with the international community's blessing. For the first time in a long time, it seemed like things were going somewhere.
when they discovered disco.
Yes, and quantitative easing. It was a market mirage, unfortunately. The 40s dispelled it. An Isla-wide hangover, you might say. So, here we are.
You crazy.
Welcome to reality, baby.
Who's Copeland?
For her to be where she is, Wild Pines Group must have picked the right side.
What side was Wild Pines Group on? Well, let's go spend some points. Why not? Let's check my brain. Not quite here yet. What could I do? I haven't started researching this. Shot himself in the mouth under this cabinet. That's gonna take a long time. That's gonna take 4 hours. Okay. So I will go spend it on some stuff. What do I want to buy? Always the question. What do I want to buy? Take the blows. Don't let the world kill you. And my authority's all jacked up right now. I don't know what I want. Let's go with... Okay, I'll hold off. You said. Let's side with Wild Group. Pines
They
Group.
picked the winning side. That's why they're here, and others are not.
They got lucky.
Perhaps it wouldn't have turned out that way had I been in charge. I might have bet on the king and led the Pines to doom.
You would have sided with the king?
I would have sided with the cannons. If you'd seen the calibers of the things, you might have too. Perhaps it's better I was born when I was. 10 of the 14 Indo tribes got it wrong. Feld, Kupri, Tricentennial. So I suppose I would have been in good company.
What would have you done differently?
Good question. What would you have done differently?
I asked you, who are you in all this?
And I asked you, past-less detective of the Citizens' Militia, what insight has acute encephalopathy given to you?
I would have sought a medical solution. Sounds like Sarath drove people mad.
So a quarter of humanity simply lost their minds. And how would you stop a prion, a complex folding protein, unlife, with a technology 50 years ago?
Yes, it was a modest no. You could take the rabid pre-infested dogs. Kill everyone with cleansing alternative. No, maybe it's impossible. Maybe what happened had to happen. It always will.
Always. That's the can't-do attitude that truly defines late modernity. You may prove a modern man yet.
Opinions expressed here do not reflect the official position of the RCM.
And what is your official position, Lieutenant?
My position, ma'am? My parents got ripped to shreds in the revolution. I would have gone the same way. I was saved by being 2 years old. That's my position. The abattoir.
Understandable.
Maybe
Good
done it.
question. What would you have done differently? And you would have died, most likely. Not far from here. Maybe even right here, during the beachhead, defending the coast the day the Coalition took the city.
Happily.
Good. Not that it would have mattered. In the end, the Commune forced everyone to the barricades.
Enough about the times.
They are what they are. Who knows? An afterbloom may yet come. Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know?
Now's your chance. Ask her who she is. She won't get out this time.
What is this? Spread your hand.
A bird? A sphenicid? A flightless bird of the polar regions?
I meant, what place is this place here?
Ah. This is the pier of Rue de Saint-Ghislaine, 33A, where the tenants have been kind enough to rent me a slot. Or two.
What is the Rue de Saint-Ghislaine?
A pre-revolutionary tenement. Old buildings are called tenements, you see. And new buildings, bâtiments. After les bâtiments nouveaux. But 33A and 33B are not nouveaux. They're old.
This is the crumbling facade.
This one used to be 8 to 10 stories tall. A real high-rise by the standards of the last century. Built to mirror the skyscrapers across the bay in the Delta. That was before the war, of course.
Who lived in them?
Mostly the urban middle class, I believe. This was once primo real estate, before the cannons lopped 4 or 5 stories off. Splat, splat.
From a deflated balcony, Cassidy the Skull gives Joyce the evil eye, her red paintbrush held to her throat.
You could be wrong. But from here it appears as if she's running the brush across her throat in a soaring motion.
Wonderful.
What is that, Cassidy the Skull?
The girl in the old lady rags.
Yes.
Looks like a sullen and rebellious member of a teen infraculture.
Infraculture?
Yes, you and I belong to the supraculture. We're common, the herd. The music on the radio, the food in the chain restaurant, those are all too popular for the girl in the old lady rags. She prefers a fantasy world, an infraculture with its own dress code and vernacular. It is an illusion, I'm afraid. There is no refuge from the supraculture.
Okay, now explain the same thing, but to a child.
Young people who dye their hair funny colors and wear old people's clothes are stupid, and their little rebellion is self-defeating. All right, what next?
Suddenly, you're not so sure you're part of the supraculture.
I think it could be part of it, infraculture.
And what would that be?
I don't know, I just feel it.
Ah, yes. That is what counts, I suppose. For my part, I was more of a new girl.
What's the new?
The new. A cultural era. And the name of the decade it ravished, the 30s. It came out of post-revolutionary Revachol.
Here we
It
go.
was ultra-liberal. It involved lots of partying, as you might imagine, and champagne-colored everything. By the looks of it, that would have been when you came of age. Now,
She raises her eyebrow at you. Sounds fun, I can't remember a single thing.
wasn't it Guillaume Le Million who said, if you can remember the new, you weren't there?
Wait, you know me all? I was just thinking about that guy. Whatever happened to him?
Ah, yes. This is not very central to reality, is it?
Still want to know.
I can't be 100% sure, but I believe he died due to complications from venereal disease.
Which one?
All of them.
Saying he didn't vanish in a puff of stardust?
I'm afraid no. But then again, one can't be entirely sure. It's all part of his mystique. Ask someone else and you may get a more champagne-colored take. Anyway, what other basic facets of reality should we discuss?
Seriously, I want to know what you are. She humps.
She won't maneuver her way out of this one.
Sabotage. What are you?
I am the vilest of the vile. A traitor. A devourer of nations and infants.
He says with a sudden flash of teeth.
I am an ultra.
She raises the corner of her mouth, smirking, revealing a canine.
Wait, what's an ultra?
An ultra-liberal. It's a type of liberal. From the revolution. It's, not the moderate kind.
I don't understand. What's so vile about that?
Haven't you heard? I am a nether creature of the Forbidden Swamp. One of those who pushed the king under a shit wagon and betrayed the revolution. We surrendered the nation to the financier pirates. No sane person identifies as an ultra-liberal anymore. Not in broad daylight. You're a man of the left. A true communard. Tell me, now that I've uncoiled myself, are you repulsed?
In her green eyes, you see a mixture of truth and self-satire. Decades of guilt and pride.
I forgive you.
I hope you do. I hope we are able to continue as friends, despite my scales and my need to infiltrate and betray your precious revolution. Honestly, I may have even preferred it, had the communards won. Who knows? They might really have built something better. But they didn't, because they lost. When the dust settled, the liberals were the only ones left to clean up the mess. By virtue of their survival, they were handed enormous power to shape the future. This was all our last generation managed.
Turns her gaze to the Delta.
With due respect to our overlords, the eternal caretaker government that keeps Martinaise a monument to the efficacy of its artillery, I would not have relinquished sovereignty to the Coalition. Not here in Martinaise, and not in the Stella Maris or Delta Beachheads either. If not for my own sake.
She realizes her small, cold fists are clenched. She loosens them.
Then for my daughters. We had an obligation to defend our sovereignty. We should have burned the whole Isola down rather than let them have it.
A smart woman.
Perhaps
Gary's chime.
my intellectual vanity will be my undoing.
You're no dummy yourself.
So am I.
A smart boy getting smarter. One basic term of reality at a time.
You're a patriot?
Yes, I suppose I am. But I wouldn't be a patriot anywhere but here.
Seditious talk, man.
You have daughters?
Yes. Whatever else I am. I'm also a mother. And a wife. Now, shall we return to reality?
Still can't get there. That's all for now.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
By the way, I've talked to Everett Clare.
You have. And how did you like Mr. Clare?
No. I didn't.
Oh, come on now. He has his uses. How else would he have stayed in power all these years? Or wait, actually,
He answers her own question.
corruption. That's how he's done it. Fantastic, worm-like corruption.
Verm.
Reaching into the bowels of the earth.
Looks at the ground and nods.
The position of my unusual colleague does not reflect official policy. I hope you understand. The RCM does not pick sides.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt worm myself. However, if you felt like discussing something, How could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping.
I like Joyce.
Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what she has to say about these things.
I'd rather talk about something else for now.
Of course, Detective. Should something come up later down the road, don't be afraid to drop by for a chat. Until then, is there anything I can help you with?
You're on a boat.
Why, yes I am.
Not a lot of people have boats. Not a lot of people on boats, are there?
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
An archipelago? Look around.
Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou.
Technically, the neighboring Ozone and Fas a la Mer island groups are archipelagos, while La Caillou, by contrast, is a single fertile landmass, the fourth largest island in the world. It is not an archipelago.
Yeah, I thought the Caillou was one big island.
Okay, if you want to get technical. The point is, we're all on islands here, and sail is still the most expedient way to get from one island to another, especially when you're in a hurry to resolve a strike.
I haven't seen anybody else sail a boat around here.
I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around on this boat because she's rich.
Yes, I do.
Before you do, it would be pertinent to ask other questions. Gather more info on this boat of hers.
Do you have a name?
The boat? No. It is called Cor de Lady 19 because that's the type of sloop it is.
What kind of boat is it?
It's a pleasure craft, a 19 pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though these days I mainly use it for business.
How do you like it?
My sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
Let's curl into a wry smile.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
You have a license for this boat?
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull as she smiles. Qualified pleasure craft operator. So charming. Where's
you-
the damn license?
I see your license.
I just renewed its safety inspection last month, officers. It is completely seaworthy. In fact, it's taken part in not one, but two insulindic regattas. Even finished once.
So what happened the other time?
The other time, I would have finished the race were it not for an urgent work matter, much like the one I'm on now.
Still need to see a license, man.
Actually, you don't.
What do you mean?
The Wayfarer Act specifically denies the RCM the authority to demand anyone's operator license. It's a little-known fact among us law officials.
The Wayfarer Act is one of the few pieces of legislation governing human interaction in the Revachol Zone, along with the Emergency Trade and Ailments Act.
Of course. What now?
It's one of the foundational laws in Revachol, designed to limit the authority of local institutions. Part of it
Boo.
prohibits the RCM
Wanna shake her
from
down.
requesting most documents
Just
and
because I can.
licenses without permission from a coalition representative. It's a law that keeps Revachol what it is, in limbo.
Alright, exactly how little known is this fact?
I was just being polite. Even school children know the Wayfarer Act.
Makes sense, I guess. I mean, look at me.
No need to resort to self-pity, detective. You can still ask for her passport.
No need.
Of course. Any more questions about the boat, sir?
Let's talk about the economics of this boat you're on.
Oh my, the E word. You mean to say that it's a symbol of conspicuous consumption? That I'm a member of the ruling class?
Assassimondo. Class wartime, baby.
Detective, may I remind you that Mrs. Messier is a professional negotiator?
He doesn't look like he thinks he's best for his little
Then what does that say? Does it say docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A? 33A? This old proletarian haunt here? As I said, plenty of people drive boats, of all social strata.
Ah, I can't even quick save. But anyways, yes.
Your synapses flash.
This house was built before the revolution.
Okay, it is anti-centennial.
People who live here now lead a different lifestyle, if you know what I mean.
I assure you, they drove quite a hard bargain for this space. But you're right. I am a bourgeois woman, and this is my fast, lightweight, interminably bourgeois boat.
I think I got a handle on the boat.
Good.
Tell me about the Wild Pines. What do you do?
What we do. I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
So what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things.
He points to small dots on the horizon.
And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo-tribes remain.
Who are the other Indo tribes?
Saint-Baptiste, Elysium, an unknown entity known as Brightest Star.
Brightest Star. You're in good company, it seems.
Why, thank you.
Isn't registered the real meaning of it. How much money does Wild Pines have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
Numbers like that mean nothing to me.
Yes, past a certain point, numbers begin to seem imaginary, but they are quite real for the 72,000 employees who depend on Wild Pines for their paychecks. A conglomerate the size of Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving and growing, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families?
Where does Wild
It is
Pines
a tremendous responsibility.
get all those billions?
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
It helps us start with a royal monopoly.
You know more than you let on. Certainly it helped, but most of the original Indo tribes have failed, or been absorbed. To survive, Wild Pines had to grow and adapt. No suzerain did that.
What does such a huge system want with a place like this?
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
You don't keep it moving, the workers do. Companies with nothing without them,
We built this district.
he says calm.
We. There it is. She owns up to it.
All the best parts of it. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, with its bastions. The plazas Meteor and Mosaic. Even some of the old street lamps have been put back thanks to the investments from the WP.
It's still a dump!
Before Martinez was swallowed by the industrial harbour, even before it was part of Revachol, long before Terminal B was erected here, the Pines built it as a resort for its Revacholian employees. A company getaway, for a weekend or a summer holiday. Then came the revolution. But that's another matter. I'm here to make sure the Pines can fulfill their responsibilities to the place they built.
Now with this alleged drug traffic.
It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
Let me guess this straight. The materials come from Samara to Revachol through the terminal.
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
All those things we're mentioning, meth and left-handed meth, right-handed meth, GBL, and synthetic. That's all stuff you could produce with, simple chemicals.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut.
You want us to investigate?
Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dockworkers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
The lorries.
Precisely. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they're vulnerable.
How convenient that they're stranded like beached whales at that roundabout.
Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment.
Her irises are light green, like the river Esperance in bright daylight, upstream where it's clearer.
I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
Uncovering Union secrets could also give you an upper hand when dealing with them.
I already have some suspicions that one of the drivers is present at the lynching.
The two might even be connected.
Or not. Though, if you have evidence to the contrary, I'm eager to hear it.
As eager as I am to share it, Lieutenant, once the job is done.
Why didn't you come to the RCM earlier?
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under.
We know the company has launched its own probe into the Union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence.
Well, here's your chance, officers.
No coincidence the lorries are stranded like that is.
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However, this is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue. Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open a drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand.
What proof he had the unions
How
involved?
do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves. Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
That should be pretty easy. Okay, I made my mind about smuggling operation.
Yes?
I'll take the case, probe the driver, see what it yields.
Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hopefully one of them will know something. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
Bottomless thermal cup. Thank you. That's all for now. Okay. How are we doing for experience? Oh, I got 2 skill points just kind of lingering around. What do I want? That was fun. Untouchable man. Balcony. Use all these beer bottles, please. Yes. All right.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
All right, check your coal room. Go away. Fill your bottles. Okay. Well, that's good. Put away the bag. Put these 2 on. Heck yeah. Use that money. Yeah. Get the trash bag back out. There's one thing I'm good at. It's picking up bottles. I almost got enough to pay for stuff. 7 o'clock.
What happened here?
This looks sad. This looks so sad.
Put your emotions aside. Try to focus on abstract, impersonal things.
Can't foreclose an apartment with a hole in the wall.
It will still be accessible through the apartment next to it. That one didn't have a door. Sadly, nothing of great value remains here.
The stuff in the fridge.
Indeed.
I don't know what I got for doing that. See what you're talking about. So you gotta talk some new with you.
Give me a moment.
Yep.
You hear someone walking around inside.
Let's
We're in
knock.
a poor communard from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
The place open up.
Do I have to open the door?
Defensive edge.
Did you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant.
Let's go. We don't have a reason.
It's generally easier to do things if you have literally any.
Okay, got a reason. No, I can mess with that. I led the brain damage last time. Balcony and an exit. Okay, see what I just did. The jam mystery. Okay. Open the apartment door. Yeah, I'm not going to the basement door. Doing other stuff. Yeah, I gotta pry some things open again. Take that 75 cents.
This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Someone
Let's
here
knock.
really values. No one answers.
We should return in the evening. At 9 p.m. the earliest.
Okay, we're almost there. Time's almost there. Huh. Where else could I go? I can kill some time. That will spit me back out into the yard. Just wandering around with a, excuse me, with a crowbar and a big old bag. What is this? +1 suggestion, -1 half-light. Interesting. Look at it again.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Let's give it a try.
Because you see it, finally. This wall is sublime.
The
Look at it. The shadows, the colors.
Let the conceptual joy flow into your pupils and blossom into thoughts in your
All
brain.
the other walls on all the other houses must make a pilgrimage in adoration of this, the uncontested pinnacle of wallcraft, color peeled from the very face of God. O Wall Father.
Okay, I must paint this wall even more beautiful.
Huh? He sounds tired of it all. Cindy the Skull has all the necessary materials. Talk to her.
Let's talk to Cindy. This is materials from her.
If you must.
Okay. That was a thing. Not the thing I expected. But the thing I got. Like making a success of a 28% roll there. Excuse me. I'm Harry the Bagman. I'm coming to bag you. Bang, bang, bang. Clang, clang, clang. It's been a very long week.
The trash container stands. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. The container sounds a muffled gong.
Gong. Leave. Take a look here.
There he still is, looking right through you
Oh.
with his white eyes. The body below is
Look at that.
entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now.
+6 shit compressed. Let's go.
As you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a smell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes squinting, you stand in it. This delicate machine, ready for picking. Instinctively, you crack your fingers.
They always do that?
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep in decomposition here.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength.
Look him in the eye.
His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there. These eyes used to be blue, baby blue. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess.
His eyes used to be blue.
Good. The victim is of Occidental descent. Light brown hair, blue eyes.
When he says Occidental, he means white. Originally from the Occidental subcontinent on Muindi.
Tell me, who are you, dead man?
I'm gone.
Where have you gone? Wow, Inland Empire. Wow. What is happening?
What do you mean?
I'm talking to you.
It's the power of your
Black frothy liquid starts bubbling from his lips.
Imagination. Go ahead. Ask me more questions. You fucking love questions.
I do. Where have you gone?
Into the wild pale yonder.
Where is that?
In the past. Way out in the west.
Can't get my damn compartment in my ledger open.
The Blue Heart. Oh, that's good shit. You'll love it. Just press down and fuck it open like you always do. Fuck it hard. Copopo the clown.
He means force. It'll work.
See, you're gone, but who are you?
I'm a joke. Look at me.
You are now, but who were you when you were alive?
A killer. A motherfucker. And a killer.
I have another question.
Go ahead, Copo.
Why do I love questions so much?
Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions?
Yeah, give me more questions.
Here you go, you loony.
Is my name Rooney?
Fuck no. You're no Rooney.
Rooney is not who I am. I'm Harry.
No, you're not a Harry either. You're a motherfucker. That's who you are. Rooney the motherfucker.
Why do I feel like I've forgotten something terrible?
Because you have.
Enough.
Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
Different audio compared to the text. This is my life. This is your brain, huh? That's pretty incredible. I wish my brain was like that. Inspect the boots.
The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow. These are clearly not boots. They're armor, possibly part of a larger set.
These aren't boots, are they? This is his armor he was stripped of. Yeah, I can see the armor.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots.
With this notebook under his arm, Lieutenant crouches to inspect the soles.
Oh, the lieutenant uses a memo technique, A6. That's not just any notebook. It's a classic.
Thanks, super useful.
It's all you, baby.
What armor is this exactly?
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be.
Where?
Under the heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
The material looks out of place here.
It is. It's expensive.
The lieutenant draws a line in the condensation of the ceramic.
We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics.
What are we talking about?
For a full set, about 4 years of wages.
For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500 real, unadjusted for rank.
That's a lot, I take
As
it.
a wage, it's regrettably small. But for a piece of hardware, yes, that's a lot.
Where's the rest of it? How could this man afford this expensive hardware?
That's for us to find out. Mr. Gart implied he was security personnel for the harbor company. This confirms my own assumptions.
Initial report?
Just something I scraped together from my station. An area report on Martinez. I'm sure you did the same.
These look pretty advanced for security.
I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
Not gonna.
A small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup. The pry bar in your hand is itching for some action.
Swing the pry bar.
The metal connects with the same ding. The sound does not appear to get louder. The only difference is a barely audible click underneath. Sounds like the end of a long dice roll.
Did you hear that?
Like dice rolling.
This is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads the incoming energy horizontally, from plate to plate. When the plates connect, there's a click. That's the sound you heard. See these lines?
Points at the toe.
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until there are hundreds of them altogether, like whirls of floorboards. The design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials, like lignum vitae and ebony perhaps.
What does this remind me of?
If trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would look like.
Run your fingers over the line.
The smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever more intricate interconnections, peaking on the right sabaton, where you notice the whirls are in the shape of a letter and number combination: E50, 100, 1000.
Looks like there's a serial number.
Good. Can you read it to me?
He tips the drawing ball with point on his tongue. E50, 100, 1000.
We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done. Either
Oh.
station can chase it for us.
Pull the boot
The
off.
stench fills your
Oh.
nostrils. As you push downward,
Stop!
His voice is sharp.
Pig's gonna pull his.
Brutal!
Okay, this is a bad idea.
You're going to pull his head.
Do it, homo!
Do what?
Pull his head off. There's no point.
indeed, from this angle, it does look like the neck.
What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on to that boot?
We're detectives. There might be clues inside the boots.
How many clues do you need? You already found a number. There's no way you are getting them off. All the organic matter in his body has been flowing down into the boots for 7 days. They are fused to his feet now. Why do you think they are the only thing left on him?
You're sure there's a way to peel them off, but first the body needs to be down, and second, it would probably be better if the lieutenant wasn't around.
Sounds like a plan.
The anticipation makes you crack your fingers. Feels nice. Nice and cracky.
What's gonna happen to the boots then?
Processing will take care of them. With the situation in the morgue, it will yield nothing. But we must pick our fights. Should we continue?
Where's the rest of it?
Piece by piece. He's
Cabins?
been out here for 7 days. It would be odd if they didn't. We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know.
Understood.
The sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form.
Back-
Ageless and synthetic.
Back off a little
The
bit.
cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink and blue.
Spit the tattoos.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart.
There's a map of the night sky.
Map of the stars. I do see some similarity to astronomical charts. Great Century Messinian, maybe. But this seems more particular. Customized somehow.
As if someone left out most of the night sky, filtering it through personal choice. The principle of this filter remains unknown to you. The thought dissipates, and you feel as though you were only half right.
Missing something.
So am I.
Sudden ringing fills the air. The lieutenant pulls down his zipper.
He wears a wide leather belt around his waist and a gun holster under his arm. He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears. Some sort of camera.
Let the lieutenant work.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
An instant color camera.
Produces two metal capped ampules and clicks them into place on the side of the apparatus. A thin slot shines.
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
He points the camera at the corpse, peering into it, lensy adjusting, and then
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
In case we need it.
Chad says he shakes the paper, letting it dry in the cold wind. On it, a perfect copy of the dead man's tattooed chest. Cool machine.
Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, because he's a tech head. He slides the camera closed and tucks it in his belt.
There is only one ampoule left. Use it wisely.
What do we need this photo for?
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter. To us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around.
I have it. I should look later without the culprits.
Sure. Just don't lose it.
Empty a piece of rolled up photo paper. No larger than a pack of
The
cigarettes.
glossy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper, teeming with opportunistic
Oh,
organisms.
so beautiful. Inspect the belt.
The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch. This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt, big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under 6-rotor airships.
That's how I know, but this is a lashing belt used for airlifting cargo.
Airlifting. I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them.
Apparently this is a reinforced kind for air transport. My brain tells me
The
so.
local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand, without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves.
Sure wanted to stay up there. The rope is reinforced with steel wiring.
I was afraid it would be. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed.
We're assuming the dock workers in the harbor did.
I'm still approaching this as a lynching, yes. Motivated by the ongoing strike. You?
I feel like it's something else.
Yes, it often is. This bell worries me.
How'd they even get him up there?
A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around.
Hoist the buckle tying the belt to the branch glove. And I've only seen bits of Chainsaw Man. I don't consume a whole lot of media. Instead, I spend my time trying to ruin Elon Musk's day. They climb up using the kid's ladder? Point to the side of the tree.
That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
Makes a point.
I'm still approaching
sorry.
this as a lynching, yes. Motivated by the ongoing strike. You?
Look at something
Yes,
else.
it often is. This bell worry. A noose is one of those things. That ladder can't...
There, sorry.
The shape of the branch supports the theory.
Okay. Back up
The
with the
cadaver
corpse.
hangs from the cargo belt, limbs limp and torso covered in tattoos.
Squint and take a step back.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink. This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with. Does his position at the time of death match the discoloration?
Observe.
Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
His face and hands are pink. His eyes too.
I see it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have good, well-pronounced discoloration here.
Relax your eyes.
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot.
There's a lot of people are digging Chainsaw Man. I mean, most of the people I kind of follow on podcasts are all into it.
So, what do you think?
Cover his nose. Something's coming out of him.
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it, drop by drop.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
The fuck he's saying?
Talking about shit.
Goddamn right I'm up.
Malicious laughter erupts in the yard. Sounds like seagulls.
Big said he's a...
The lieutenant's face is made of stone.
He's beaten up, see the
I do.
bruises?
Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
He means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal like.
I think he was upright at her death. His hands and feet or neck are this covered.
Agreed. Especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis supports her hanging.
Maybe he was strangled by someone.
Yes, there's always a chance we are wrong. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first.
I think he's dead.
I agree.
His personality is no
Totally dead.
The world no longer stores his personality in his company. There was time for that. It ended 7 days ago. No, better not to say that. Too heavy. Totally.
Absolutely.
All right. Back up and catch a
but
rest.
there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air.
So how do we get him
Are
down?
you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
Step back.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt.
Something I need to
Of
know.
course. You have questions,
I
don't
hate
you?
you.
Do I remind you of someone?
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
Myself in the bathroom mirror.
There you go. Look at that bright kid. We're birds of a feather, you and I. Soon you will be just like me. Just keep drinking and having a good time. It's a matter of weeks.
Feeling nausea, vomiting, tenderness or pain around the liver area, tiny red lines on the skin above waist level, more like days, Coppo. The clock is ticking. Your liver tells you so.
Oof. Enough.
Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori
This time it
features.
came through this correctly.
If possible. Also,
See,
As you narrow your eye, this is a trick. Only the lower extremities are pink, with the cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt. His torso covered in...
wind, yeah.
As you narrow
Gotta
your
go through
eye,
these again
this
because
is
I
a
missed
trick.
something.
Only the lower extra...
I see it.
The monster...
So, what do you think?
He's
I
dead.
agree.
His person...
Totally dead.
The world no longer stores his personality in his composition.
That sounds about right, yes.
Back off.
But
Let's
there is no
go
breath.
preliminary. Let's get done.
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating, annoying, and harder than he thought.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material.
Maybe we can shoot him down?
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
Unreached.
How?
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch, that's a good spot to aim.
There, the buckle holds the belt together.
Where? Ah, yes, I see. If the shot hits that, there might be a chance to release the belt.
Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain a Kuno with some shit.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss, Kuno!
Wait, let me try.
The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He appears too deep in concentration to even notice what you said.
Say nothing. Let him shoot.
Silence. With his elbow sharp, the lieutenant unzips his jacket.
Yes, do it, Kim.
And produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks, securing it in place. That's a Kiel A9090 Armistice, mass-produced muzzleloader, ascetic, frugal, one of the most common firearms in the world. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
Say nothing.
He's gonna fucking miss!
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as the lieutenant steps back and says to himself,
God damn it.
A lot of things were wrong with that shot. The fellow's test was the wrong choice. His shoulders were raised, but above all, he cannot trust his eyesight.
Fucking idiot! Mookabat asshole!
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
It's okay, man.
Kuno's sorry too. Kuno feels sorry for the Beano Cloud.
The lieutenant doesn't say a word, just looks at the gun in his hand.
Try again.
No, we are lucky as it is. We didn't break anything, and if any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position with the locals. We have eyes on us. I didn't do us any favors with that.
What now?
I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance.
You know, you don't feel like too bad of a shot yourself.
Can I have the gun?
It's bad as it is. Us shooting firearms like... Go ahead, I'm not stopping you. Just don't lose it.
They only have one gun!
This is the sorriest pair of pigs Kuno's ever seen.
Take the gun.
Take it, you fucking banana poika! Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth!
Feel the weight first.
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal is surprisingly light. Your fingers fit right through the guard, instinctively resting on the trigger. You've held this, an A9 Armistice, before. At some point, it probably used to be your choice of firearm. It still feels comfortable, like you never laid it down.
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno? Tell him to shoot himself in the mouth!
Wipe the gun at the belt.
The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly in the ground and your left hand supporting your gun arm.
Right.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
What was your left
Your
hand?
field of view narrows. The branch slowly moves, becoming entirely two-dimensional. The metal buckle glimmers, catching the evening light. As the corpse slowly rotates, the slow movement of the branch in the wind and your shoulders directing the gun sink up, dancing hypnotically.
Look, he's crying. You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty? Or what? You gonna fuck me? You wanna fuck me, pig? Is that what this is about?
Challenging. Oh! God damn it.
A plume of smoke erupts from... You missed.
Boo. Oh, I haven't saved him forever. God damn it. Okay. Well, we gotta take some losses.
Oh my god, he's gonna fucking...
Ask for another shot. You'll get it with the next one. The goddamn light reflected off some window. Surely.
What's wrong with your weapon, Lieutenant? Keep this.
The armistice is sufficiently precise, officer, especially at close range.
It's our fault.
It's not the gun's fault you can't shoot. It's your pig hands.
Pigs don't have hands. They have, like, fucking hooves or something.
The opportunity to shoot the kid. Yeah.
Kuno has hands. Kuno can shoot that shit down for you.
Preposterous. Not giving you the gun, kid.
That's preposterous! What are you, a fucking earl?
We still need to get him down somehow.
How?
The bad way. The way I didn't want us to. By asking the harbor for help. They have the tools and the men. If they put him up there, they can take him down too.
Good thing we found a way into the harbor.
Hooray for us.
Let's get to it then. God damn it. Blew that shot. Oh, you guys actually saw something. Stop throwing rocks at the corpse.
Fuck does Kuno care?
Yeah, I found your shack.
Yeah, did you fucking there?
What was with the pig head?
Oh, that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape.
You try to send me a message or some sort.
Yeah, to the both of you. Watch your ass in Kuno's town, or Kuno's gonna fuck your head off.
A plate covered in powder residue. Anything about it?
That's where Kuno gets his daily hit of electric. Kuno Shazam. Kuno rides the fucking lightning in there, pig.
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you? You feel tired and old, but you could have that sparkle in your eyes.
What's the tube of magnesium?
It's a vitamin, pig. Don't you know anything?
Looks like you just pointed this on the
You
what it
could
was.
use some.
Magnesium, right?
Yeah, it's the mag. You fucking need that shit to stay on top of your game. Kuno goes through like a tube a day, rips mag like a motherfucker, and you could use a bottle.
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno! He's gonna use it against you, Kuno!
I know how magnesium rock it all the time.
You're not getting this, pig. It completely takes away the hangover. It's like you didn't do anything. Like you stayed home playing with your choo-choo.
Look at you, eyes bulging.
Fuck you, pig! Don't do mag! You're gonna OD and you're gonna fucking die!
Heard enough of this.
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom.
What's it about you running around in illegal
Kuno
narcotics?
gets it from his dad. Kuno and his dad are major suppliers. That's where Kuno gets his lightning on.
His eyes bulge, veins reach out like a tree branch.
Problem is, Kuno and his dad had a little falling out. Now junkies clawing at Kuno's door. Streets going mad. Kuno's got to throw his dirty popo man at it.
Okay.
Dirty popo man is you. In there is Kuno's violent dad on steroids. Kuno's dad does steroids and speed. If you can take him, you can have half of the speed.
Who's your dad?
Kuno's dad is a fucking monster. He's the most violent man in Revachol. He doesn't give a shit about a single thing. He drinks too.
Are you sure you can take on the most violent man in Revachol? In your condition?
In my mind, Kuno. This is what's gonna happen.
Okay. Kuno's listening.
I like the last option. Not for speed. I'm going after the most violent man I've ever seen.
Sure, whatever. If you survive, make sure to bring that shit back to Kuno. Kuno's almost out. You wouldn't like the Kuno when he's out. Just get in the apartment building. Kuno knows you already fucked your way in. Kuno knows everything.
Aggressively points at his eyes.
Go to room 12, first floor, and kick down the door. Police violence style. Kuno style. And then it's action time. You're locked in the room with violent fuckheads. That's it. Next time Kuno sees you, you better have his shit.
What the hell are you signing us up for here?
Obviously, we're not going to take it. We need to get drugs away from a minor.
Okay, then.
Okay. Let's watch
The
a
fuck
shack.
do you want,
Enough
good
of
call,
this.
Pigmeister?
I'm off.
Kuno doesn't...
Hear that? Magnesium. That's what you're lacking. The lack of magnesium has you slouched.
Lack of magnesium?
Yes, and it's critical. Look at yourself. You're practically devolving into a fish due to the lack of magnesium in your bloodstream.
Sure. You mag it up
Maggot
sideways?
sideways? What are you talking about? You need to mag it up. You've probably had 2 heart attacks and a minor stroke already. And the only prescription is insane amounts of magnesium.
You need to become a magnesium-based life form?
Yes. If you want to live, you need to evolve. You need to transcend the carbon barrier. Go to the apothecary and buy insane amounts of magnesium. It will reverse the damage to your circulatory system.
Wait, what? Magnesium-based life. Generally understood that human beings are carbon-based organisms, fusing little carbon tubes together to form complex, fleshy structure capable of thought, love, and locomotion. It's also known that these structures nicely take the edge off by consuming ethanol, amphetamine, etc. In these cases, of course, supplement your body with magnesium. Tire, maggot down. Down, maggot, mag time. Liver damage, maximum mag. Some people say magnesium doesn't really do anything, you just need to quit. What do we tell them? Mag it. I don't even know what that's going to do. But I'm going to unlock an extra spot here. Yeah, let's do it. Let's start working on this. Stop. Yeah, let's do it. Volumetric shit. Okay. All right. Well, I've been hoping to get to the person of the hour for 2 sessions now, but looks like we just ran out of time. I am very tired. Hoping the weekend will be nicer, but we can only do what we can do. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you, Kat, Huntress, and Equus for stopping by. Sorry I was a little late starting. But that's it's part of life when you have children. Oh, thank you both for stopping in and chatting. Enjoy Chainsaw Man, and I will see you next week. Good night. Have a good weekend and make good decisions. Unlike both Harry and Kim here. Yeesh.